he was like, I know you're with your friends, but I need a Sawzall. And I was like, can't help you there because I don't have one.
No?
No, I don't.
No.
I do not own a Sawzall.
So, yeah,
well, that one's on me.
Christina,
Can't
hello.
hear us.
Mike.
We're muted again, buddy.
No, we're not now. So,
Okay.
suck it.
Jeez. Wait, who's that? Me? Is that
Well,
me?
we just heard Don come up with it. What's up, Mark, Jason, Mark, Jerry, Dave. Yeah.
That is a good cold soda, man.
Is that a good
right
cold
on the
soda?
verge of freezing.
Kristen, how are you?
That's a beer fridge soda right there.
Yeah, it is. Set perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yeah, it's so I see the mute button down here, but it's actually in a window behind a window. And when I click on it, it only brings that window to the front, so I have to remember to hit it again. Damn technology. This isn't working right now, so otherwise I wouldn't be able to sound. I guess I could have hit that button.
What?
That button is a mute button.
Is it?
Look at that.
Does it work?
We can play
It
a game
does.
with our listeners. You mute it, and we have a conversation. They guess
They
what
try
we're
to guess
talking
what we're
about,
talking
right?
Yeah, that'd be
you
fun.
have to listen.
Oh,
to
you
that.
know what we didn't put out?
We did not put out our Kahoot.
No, I sent you guys the.
Yeah, no.
So it's
Well,
on you. I'm publicly throwing you two under the bus.
That's fine.
As you should.
Yeah.
Catherine, thanks for joining us on the stream here.
Sorry, that was a bitch move. I shouldn't have thrown you guys.
No,
under
you
the
should
bus.
have thrown us under the bus because we dropped the ball this week
I could have done Facebook. I had
And
a
didn't-
password for
I was
that.
busy.
and didn't. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. That's the problem. We're all like,
And
Burning
we
the-
did it
we're all burning the
We
candle
did it
from
like
both
Monday,
ends.
so it really threw us
Right.
off.
Off our game. We were
I
busy
was,
all week.
I was tired.
Yeah.
I'm still tired.
that's a cool sweater.
So
hoodie.
we'll just continue the
It's
contest another 2 weeks.
I like it.
My grandmother bought this for me for Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like it. Does
It's
it
the
have coil?
closest
Does
representation.
it have a coilover on it?
No, it has an air shock.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Except it's boat-sided. That's the only difference. It's
Is that like a
boat-sided.
urinal in there?
A urinal?
Yeah.
Where's a urinal?
This one. It looks like a urinal.
You're a urinal.
Guys, we are in rare form tonight. I'm hoping that
It's,
We're gonna be rude
Yeah.
and
FDA.
obnoxious,
yeah.
and Terry's gonna be an asshole tonight. So, oh, thanks, cool. Now you actually hit the
Terry,
record button.
Mute yourself when you're complaining and making excuses. Well, then there'd be no show left, Jerry.
That's right. That's all of our show. Yeah, Dave, we got a contest going on. We haven't even released it yet. We've got a Kahoot built based on last week's show.
For like
4xE knowledge.
for some
Yes.
badass dirty dogs.
Yeah. Sunshades. JK Sunshades.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the
would've
front
been
and
better
rear
if I
if you
could
have four-door.
complete that thought, but no.
And
I'm
I
not on my
promise
game
this
tonight.
week we will put that out. I promise.
Isn't that funny how some weeks your brain, like the neurons are just firing, and other weeks
I
You've been
literally couldn't
you've
get
been
the
up.
agenda done until today.
You've been up the past 3 days. Until
I
like
guess, man. It's like my Jeep. Some days it runs really, really good, and other days it not
And
so much.
other days
True.
it
Doesn't
drop
run
a
at
spark
all.
plug
True.
into
Yeah,
the
that's right.
engine.
So much truth. How we doing? Is it time to tell everybody to share us out?
Yeah, share us out. We can talk about our friends and partners. The first one I'm going to point to is Armorlight,
Yeah.
which I used a lot of their flooring this weekend when I was at Grimm's Family Farm.
Oh,
where I
did
saw
you? Yeah, we.
Our shoes were very muddy by the end of that corn
Yeah.
maze and,
Yeah.
and walking and rummaging through all the
All the vegetables.
vegetables and picking veggies.
yeah.
And so.
Did you pick some potatoes or did
Yeah,
you?
we got some potatoes. We made salsa today. I made a basil mint chili salsa.
Interesting.
So it's sweet with a little bit of a mint hint and basil
Yeah.
with an awesome kick at the end.
Nice. So if you're into that sort of thing, get your Armorlight.
Yes.
If you're into those weird salsas, get your Armorlight. They've got a discount code of Jeep Life Podcast 10, and I literally saw them posting from the Jeep Jamboree.
And now we see Don pointing to something that he was actually complaining about earlier, saying his tire light was on, which
that's right.
he could have used his power tank.
But they're at work.
Oh, well, maybe if they were readily available.
Right.
Yeah. Or I've got mine in the back of the Jeep.
It doesn't
But
run
the Jeep
now
is
anyway. So,
yeah, you don't need to. You don't need to fill
That's
up
right.
the tires
That's
if
right.
it doesn't
But-
run.
burned a spark plug right out of that.
Power tank has a Jeep Life Pod 15. Yeah, that's good stuff. And, our good friend Dave just asked about a contest. He made a huge appearance at one point with us with pipes and had the most amazing set of contests.
Yeah,
I think he gave
one.
away like 75 sets of pipes exhaust on that show.
Yeah, they cleared the whole. They cleared the whole warehouse. out.
He said,
Yeah.
let's just give the whole warehouse out.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that. So now we have
Came
Hot
on,
Boy.
he-
Where's Hot Boy? We haven't seen Hot Boy in a hot minute.
Because he's got a
on
hot
last
new
weekend.
house.
Hot Boy was on last
He was
weekend.
on last weekend. That's
Yeah.
right, Peter.
It's begging for more free shit.
That dude begs for free stuff and cheap stuff.
I beg
and-
for free stuff all the time.
I know, I do
dude.
too.
Dude, my Jeep's
I
been
can't
built
fault
in
him.
free shit.
But
I paid
they've
for
got a free shipping
everything.
code of Jeep Life, so throw that in there. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Is there another sticker on the table? No, I think
I'm
those are
looking.
on my back of the Jeep.
Yeah,
No.
so we need to
They're
we need
on-
to add a tread lightly sticker on here.
We do.
Oh,
Do we
he's
have
got one.
Do we have one? Oh, we've got the
It's far.
we've got
We
the
have
really nice
we'll get it later.
banner.
Oh, we
thing.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got the plaque.
Yeah.
So tread lightly, and our friends over there, and I mean, the buggy doesn't really tread that lightly.
No.
More treads a little, but I keep it on the trail. Let's talk about that though.
You do.
You know,
you do.
it is important to keep your rigs on the trail. You don't want to cut new trails because what that does is it hurts the environment and it hurts the, try to keep the oil stains in the same area
Yeah.
if you're gonna make one.
We could put like a sock under that.
It doesn't make oil stains.
No?
That thing, it's
Sealed up?
well, no, it's pretty good.
It's
I
pretty
mean,
good.
there might be a drip here and there,
Yeah.
but I leave more metal shavings out on
Yeah, that you
on the
do.
rocks than
You
oil. So
True. Where's the next one? We don't have one of those on the table, and I don't have
Rockside
one of those on my
Engineering.
Jeep
You
either.
don't
Hint,
have
hint.
one.
Rockside Engineering has a discount code for us, Jeep Life 10.
But I know a place where you can get it 10% off.
I do too. Off-camera lighting. Good people. Real good people. They've got a discount code for us, Jeep Life Pod, 20% off their stuff, and we appreciate them. We appreciate all of our partners coming in and helping us out. Cool. Can we run that intro?
Run that show, man.
Let's run that intro.
Stop spitting on it.
I need a tic tac.
Back to this scene. Welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast. We're that podcast where we celebrate that Jeep life and everything about it. My name is Terry, and I'm one of your hosts, and I'm joined always by the good people sitting to my left and right, and it never knows who I'm going to say hey to, but hey, Bill, how's it going?
I'm sleepy.
I see that. Dude, it's been a week.
It's been a long weekend
It's
and a long week.
And a long weekend. I saw you yesterday. That was cool.
I know, that was cool.
Yeah, I got the text. Hey, I see your Jeep. No,
it
the
wasn't
phone
even
call.
like a see your Jeep. It was like, hey, I parked next to your Jeep.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
And as soon-
introduced my good friend from college.
Yeah, it was great
Yeah.
to meet your friends and
Yeah,
introduce the whole group of people that I was with. It was,
I know.
it
Yeah, they're
was-
good friends of yours too.
Yeah, it was a good time.
We don't see Don.
No, Don doesn't like
I
us.
I just live in a different part of the world.
It's 18.
Berks County, man. There's a
It's
whole
18
county between us.
Yeah, it's 18 minutes away, but it's a whole lifetime.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. Are we still talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah,
good.
you're the one that hasn't called me an asshole tonight.
Yeah, see,
So
no,
I'll
I don't
talk to
I
you.
never call anybody assholes.
Yeah,
not to their face, anyway.
Wait till I walk
Right.
away. I like
No,
it.
I'm good. I'm good. Broke
So,
the Jeep today.
I was going to say, what's going on?
So we went for a ride, and short version of a long story, I jumped out in a 309, hammered down somewhere around 7,500 RPM. It swallowed a plug.
Blew shit up.
No, I didn't swallow it. I think it burned.
Literally intake.
I think it burned the center electrode out. It was. I jumped on it pretty hard, and for the amount of timing that's in it, I'm thinking it probably burned the center electrode out on it.
So would that be a simple plug?
That'll just
or
be
was
a
it
plug.
be a coil pack? Or
I'm hoping it's just a plug. So,
Because if not, I gave him the coil pack
yeah,
too.
and then
Now-
so the only other thing left is
you
the
have to take the
injector.
intake off.
Yeah, for number 2, you
Number
do.
2, 4, and 6, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate doing that.
Yeah, I had 4 go bad on mine.
Yeah, I
so
know.
Pain in the rear.
Now, when yours went bad, was it only under load or was it all the time?
no, it sucked. Period.
No, mine's only under load.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, it was. So it might be just your spark plug.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Who knows?
Mine literally went from kicking ass to not instantly, and then it was just sputter, 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 limp all the way.
So mine's all right, like under cruise and stuff, but the minute you go to accelerate, it's like shooting flames out the back. It hates everything behind it.
Nice. I saw that on.
So real quick, the reasoning behind that is because the spark is jumping from basically the burnout piece to the side.
Yeah, it's
versus
it's,
going
or
out
yeah, right.
to the tip.
I don't even know where it's. I'm sure it's side grounding or
Yeah,
something. Who
something.
knows if it's even firing at all? Well, it's got to be firing.
It has to be.
Somewhat, but
Or
yeah. So it's.
or
I
the
mean, it gets.
timing's just really out.
Yeah.
I hope now because it would be that whole bank.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be just number 2. It's one of 3 things. It's a spark plug, the coil, or the injector, or
You burned a hole in the piston.
no, because that would do it all the time.
I'm sure.
But it does get really angry when you like stand on it. I stood on it one time. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna clean you out, fucker.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's I'm like,
Right.
bang, 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 bang.
It's like those racers in
Yeah.
the parade.
Yeah, it is.
We just throw Don up
Cars,
there.
right? Cars are like bailing off the side of the road behind me, and
We take his springs and shocks off and
Yeah,
just
slam
let
him
it
to the
slam.
ground.
sit in the bump stops.
It's called static stance for a reason.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it.
He was looking for that low center of
That's
gravity.
right, man. LCG rig.
All the
Going
way.
negative.
Yep.
Well, it's awesome, and I'm glad that you're here. And I know you didn't need your Jeep to get here.
Now I've got a reliable, trusty shipbox Honda. That's the only car I have that stays running.
Yeah, dude.
We have to get a sticker made for it.
Oh,
It just says like shitbox Honda.
We need to
Shitbox
decal
Honda.
the hell out
Jeep
of
Life
that one.
shitbox Honda.
Or like Don's shitbox
Honda.
Yeah,
I saw it wasn't a Honda, but it was a Toyota Camry on like 33s the other day. I was like, "That's cool."
what would possess someone to do that?
I may have a set
I
of
don't know.
37s coming around.
Yeah, right.
Somehow.
No, they were seriously probably like 30s or 29s.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
they
were-
looked
but they were big
huge.
time,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know. It's
Right.
kind of cool though. Probably
Right.
still got 30 miles at a gallon.
I think we could figure
Right.
this out.
I'm sure you could do like the Center Hall Road at AOAA
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
101.
Right.
At least down to the puddle.
Yeah, Puddle
paved
Road
the
would be under.
101.
Yeah, yeah. We could pave.
Pave 101.
Yeah.
Get on that, Porzy. Get on it. All right, we have some emails and some reviews coming our way, and the first one, it kind of introduced a nice question we can talk about, or when Don reads it, he can say, yeah, let's table this because this will be a good conversation for later on.
Well, it's up to you guys. I mean, it can be answered really quickly, or we can go like in depth. What do you want to do?
Let's answer it real quick,
And then we'll go in depth
and then
later.
maybe go in depth
All right.
later.
All right. So from Christopher Steinbergen, Slow Ride Co. here. Jeep Stella, named after my wife Estella. In love with the podcast. I'm a truck driver, and I drive between 12 to 14 hours a day. That's like your guys' drive to work.
No, almost. Almost.
And I enjoy listening to you guys. Found your podcast Monday and been bringing it since. Like the conversation between you guys. Wish I could hear more about the YJ I've got. The first year 1987 4.2 liter. Like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I've done an upgrade to a Motorcraft 2150, which I believe is a fuel system, and now I'm really thinking about putting the Holley Sniper EFI 2300 on it.
So I have a buddy that runs that.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves it. Thing like tunes itself.
Yeah,
Drives amazing.
The older Holley systems, I heard sucked really bad. The new stuff, everybody is running the new Holley stuff. Oh, I think that'd be a good choice. Question. Regarding the 1987-1989 YJ Wrangler Dana 35, I'm doing a Terraflex disc brake conversion on my YJ rear and was wondering about pulling my shafts out. I've had a 410 put in, but not by me, by another shop, and was wanting to know if it has C-clip retainers or if it's like the early Dana 44s and are held together with a retainer plate. Only first time pulling it apart besides just the fluid change, and to be honest, I've never really paid close attention to it. So all Dana 35s are C-clip, unless you can buy kits, I believe, to convert them to a retainer, but that's the downfall of Dana 35, because if you break an axle on the trail, it's not staying in. I would strongly recommend looking for a 44, and you could get like a TJ 44 would be the same width and just cut the perches off and weld in the leaf spring perches, and you'd be good to go.
That'd be super easy too.
Yeah.
Mark from just Canada says
Canada. Hey, Canada.
A C-clip eliminator kit is a must.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think, Christopher, you have your answer there. But we certainly appreciate that email. And I love getting emails. I love getting all this stuff in.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It feels good.
Yeah.
People are listening to us. And it gives us something to talk about for good 8-10 minutes on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like it. So, Billy, I think you've got one over there, don't you?
Nope.
No, you don't.
Nope.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll read it then.
Hi, guys. I've been listening to your podcast since April when I picked up my Wrangler 4XE.
You do like an echo in the background.
I've listened to all of your previous podcast episodes as well. On the last show
you mentioned.
Really? I gotta deal with this now? Are you kidding me? I didn't sign up for this shit, man.
Yeah.
I lost my track. I gotta start over again. I've been listening. I'm sorry, TV, but on the last show you mentioned that you would like to hear from a 4XE owner. So here I am. It's really hard to read off this little screen.
Hey, it's not my fault you didn't bring your charger.
All right, now you start reading.
No, here.
Oh, sweet. The last Jeep Wrangler I owned was back in 1987. I've been keeping a spreadsheet of metrics since June so I could fully understand what the 4XE contributes to the Jeep legend. Let me know the questions you want answered. After 6 months and 10,000 miles, I may be able to answer anything that pops up in your mind. Keep up.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hold on. Settle. Settle.
Okay, I can wait. Go ahead.
Got another minute. Keep up the good work and give my thanks to the rest of the crew for their efforts in producing the
podcast.
But I'm just making him wait longer. That's his questions. So the podcast, and that's from Tony Valentine. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes by TV.
TV. That's why I said TV.
I'm going to give the rest of the crew thanks. Thanks. Since we are the crew.
Thanks.
There is nobody behind the camera. There is
nobody.
There is us.
There's us. And the board members.
Oh, yeah, the board. We don't like them
We
at
don't
all.
like them.
Oh, you don't like
One of
them at
them's
all.
been MIA for like
A lot of them have been MIA.
Yeah.
3 months.
We might let them go.
Ooh,
I
can
think we
do
did
that?
leave them go a long time ago.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So,
we might need them.
Anyway, back
I
to
know. Where's a takeover?
back to Tony's comment. We should get him on for like a 10-minute question and answer segment. I want to ask him questions.
All right.
Like,
if he's down for that.
So I want to
Yeah.
know his metrics and sheets because I have,
Yeah,
I
well,
have
that's-
another buddy that keeps
Yes.
metrics and sheets on his truck.
I want a copy of those spreadsheets.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Don's
Yes.
inbox.
Don wants to go like all.
All right, I'll reach.
do.
I'll reach out to him and
Yeah,
see if
yeah.
I can get that. I'll see if I can get that from him.
I've been looking.
Don't
at
stick
one.
your tongue in the can, dude. You're gonna get it cut.
Oh, it's gonna get cut. So here's a review from Facebook.
I've been looking at
But
one.
thanks, Tony, for sending that in.
Absolutely.
This is a review from.
Do we know where Tony's from?
I don't think so.
Oh, it says right here he's from April.
Now he's been listening since April.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. The product reviews and technical discussions around different upgrades are great for someone who is looking at upgrading their Jeep. Also enjoying the wisecracking between Terry, Don, and Bill. This is the one podcast I go out of my way to listen to every week while traveling. Wow, Tyler. That's awesome.
Thanks, gents.
Thanks, gents. Oh, I forgot that part.
Gents.
Thanks, gents.
I like that.
Tyler Ormond, thank you so much for that. He reviewed that. Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, I've talked to a few people and some of our listeners that say that they don't necessarily listen to us live,
Yeah.
like on Sunday night.
Right.
But they'll watch the show over on like a Tuesday or a Monday on Facebook.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. Not everybody has like Sunday night free.
I
Right.
know. But it's just interesting that they'll watch the live over versus waiting till the final release comes out.
Well,
You know.
Hey,
I think it's just cool.
they don't want to hear us blunder through things live. They want to.
No, they want to watch the live. They don't
Oh.
wait till...
Well, yeah, that's where all
No, they
the,
watch
that's
the
where
live
all the
recording, right?
Right, they don't
right. That's
want
the unedited. You know.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Raw material.
That's true.
That's where our really. I mean, we are really at our creative.
We are their best.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Terry edits out all of our creativeness.
Maybe.
Sometimes. Well, sometimes I throw it at the end, or sometimes I throw it at the beginning.
Sometimes he's
just
like,
to see
"This
if
is a
anybody
little too
stays
much."
with us.
I do just for that and see what ends up at the end.
Well, last week was the
Yeah. What's your name?
What's your name? We love doing this live. At the beginning, this was not a thing we were going to do. Matter of fact, I had been opposed to doing video because, nobody wants to look at this face.
Right.
I have a face for radio. That's
Yes,
just
you
face.
do.
Now you're a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
But it's really taken on a life of its own, and I really enjoy it. I love doing the lives when we go places, we do our events.
It engages the audience a lot.
It does. It makes it fun. We can engage back.
We can banter back and
Yeah.
forth. They can comment. We
Yeah.
can comment on their comment when they
Yeah.
comment on our comment.
Seriously, this week when I'm not
plus a
here, could you
comment
spray
on a
my
comment?
microphone with like something?
So I have started to come down here and I spray the walls with some like fabric sanitizer.
You give my
because of the-
microphone too, would you?
All right, I'll get it for you.
But
Maybe
it-
we just need to wash these things. Are they washable?
Sure, try it.
So everyone out there, we have like
Foam
They're
thingies.
phone wind screens.
They're
Screens.
they're microphone condoms.
Yeah.
So they filter out a lot of the wind noise.
Right, the psh and the p and the
The-
p's
that-
and the
the
pops
stuffs
and the s.
and all that.
Except from Don. I have to do a little extra work on his because I don't know.
You picking on me because of my lisp?
Yes. Yes. I
Funny.
am. But we appreciate it, and thank you for joining us live. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for listening to our episodes.
And if you want to support us even more, I
Yeah.
want you to head over to our Patreon website right
Yeah.
now
Get there.
and search Jeep Life Podcast in the Patreon search bar, and you can sponsor the show at a monthly
Yeah, I
subscription.
gotta do some work on there.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But there's a $3, $5, and $10 options to support the podcast in any other way you would like to make a donation to us.
Yeah,
I
we
think.
appreciate it.
Um,
And I think Canada was our most recent.
Yeah,
Canada
thank
is
you,
our most
Patreon.
recent Patreon
Appreciate that.
We
subscriber.
do appreciate that. There was a
You keep calling
translation
them Canada, and
between.
we're not going to be allowed up there.
I think he's still. I think he's.
He
still,
made an impression.
He'll be waiting at the border with the beers for us. I have no doubt. We won't be able to cross.
Hey, boys.
Wait, can we drink the beers if we're on the border, but are like we just like pour it across the
No.
border?
That's
Is it?
transcontinental. You guys haven't seen. Well, you've seen it.
What?
My newest addition to my Jeep.
Yes, I barely saw it. I wasn't that close to it. I was sitting in the back seat.
All right. So
seen it, my newest addition to my Jeep.
yeah.
Hey guys, check it out.
Look, I got a really big TV screen now on my dashboard.
Yeah.
It really is.
You remember the laptop that used to sit there? Now it's mounted into the actual dash. I had to cut some stuff out, but it looks so awesome, guys. And
I
it
got
right up to my
6 amplifiers.
phone. Wow.
I love this. I can't wait to edit all your shit out.
You are the
The
wizard.
problem with recording with a guy that you don't do the editing for the show.
Yeah, right.
That's right, because I'm in control, really. I mean, when it
That's
comes
why I
down
just said
to
you
it.
are the wizard.
But I think I bought the last Alpine I-209.
Is it 209?
It's a 209,
I-209.
I-209 WRA.
What's
I think
the
I
I
bought the
stand
last
for?
one.
Internet?
It means intermediate,
Okay.
not quite expert.
All right. I
Which
got
there
you.
is the X209, which is just a little step above.
X stand for
Like
extra?
Extra.
Yeah.
Extra.
Yeah.
Extra.
Read all about it.
So I had that, and I was sitting in my garage and was basically burning a hole in the garage, saying, "Install me, install me."
And in your pocket.
Yeah, for sure. So I reached out to our friends at Alpine,
And you went and
And-
saw Colin.
and
You got to
yeah,
hang out with him.
Colin, who's been on the show, he invited me down to his house.
It was like, yo, dude, I got this.
Big
was like-
mistake, Colin. I did
Yeah,
that
no
once.
doubt.
He didn't leave for a month.
Yeah.
I know his
Now-
address
Yeah.
now.
Now I have a permanent appointment with him
Colin,
once a week.
Yeah,
Colin, put the house up for sale.
Yeah, man.
that's your
No
best
forwarding
bet.
address.
But we went down and he helped me install this, and it was a great time to kind of pick his brain and talk
Yeah.
to him about it
Yeah, those guys are good.
and show
So I got
off.
to bring mine down to him, too, because I got that popping noise still.
Oh yeah, you need. He knows exactly what that is.
I know. I just
and he
got
can
to.
solve it.
He said, "What? I thought we talked about it. at one
We did
time."
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've just been busy.
for starters, I think most of you. I don't know how many people know. I used to work for Apple, and
Did you?
Apple's packaging.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Really?
did. I know. It's
You were Apple
somebody called me out
t-shirt.
on it earlier today, and it was awesome. The packaging for
Yeah.
Apple is big, so when
Yeah.
you open it up, it's
Yep.
it's
They are. This is some of the best
it's-
packaged stuff if not
Period.
the best.
Customer
Yeah.
Right.
experience.
it's about
Yeah.
the experience.
It even smells good when you open it up.
It does. It
Yeah.
really
No,
does.
Not like your microphone.
Not
No.
like my microphone.
But I got to tell you, Alpine's knocking on that
Same.
second door.
So right, I think I might have said that in my review when I did the
Yeah.
speakers. Like
Yeah.
everything is packaged so nicely.
Yeah, and the I-209, the box is huge. I mean, it really is big. I was going to bring it in, but if I set it on the front of
it's full
the
color,
table,
It's full color packaging.
full color packaging.
Like when you open it up, it's it's actually I can tell you the fluting on it and all that fun
Yeah.
jazz too.
But the interior on that, the smaller packaging,
all
and
boxed
is all
out
boxed
well.
and white and looks
Yeah.
really good. And so it was fun to dig into it
Yeah.
like it was Christmas morning.
I
right?
saved my boxes are still at work.
Those
I didn't get rid of them.
I completely broke those down and recycled them. They're sitting on the road
I
right
kept
beside the house right now.
You should have brought them over. I would have burned them.
Oh, that would have been. Now you tell me. But it really is the packaging, and it's the customer experience, like you said. And it's something that I think more companies
very
should look into.
Important thing that
It really is.
that companies are looking into now, and it's all about like so. One of the things is center force clutches. Their packaging is like top of the line. First of all, they're packaging a very heavy object.
Oh yeah,
Number
absolutely.
one.
Yep.
But on top of it, you open it up and you're like,
Everything is on display. I just put one in last
you're
year.
never
Ended
going.
last year.
This is not going to get destroyed during packaging, during shipping.
No.
No.
Like, and then you get some boxes and you're like, how did this make it to my house?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Mhm.
it was packaged and shipped in an ugly brown
Right.
cardboard.
Big cardboard.
But when you
bulky.
take it out, man, it just
Each individual,
It's
like the
just a
component
shipping
sets are really
sleeve.
nice.
Yeah.
Everything's awesome, and then you take it out, and it's like it kind of unfolds, and you got the mids and the tweeters are separate, like stuck in the car. It was just awesome.
yeah. So his hands, he was doing some of the stuff, and I would go and do other. I was running. I was doing useless stuff, running cables back behind components. And
Busy
everything.
work.
Busy
He's
work.
like, here, Terry, run this wire and then
That's
pull it out and run it again.
That's exactly what I was doing. So I was doing all that while the master was at work, and he did it so fast. I honestly I don't know what he was doing. It was just plugging things in the
It's like
right
watching
spot.
me all week.
and so it was cool. It was time to go test it out. Dash is completely apart. He just pulls it in. Cables just running everywhere. He's going, and then we turn it on. Whoa, it's on and it's working fabulously. And then we start. He's like, "Now we gotta cut your dash." I was like,
And you're like, what?
"No, I knew it was coming."
Yeah.
But I
for the I-209.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
for the restyle kit.
You have to
Yeah.
cut out the center
Yeah.
support in the dash.
yeah, and well, the whole center part of the dash
Yeah.
has to go away.
Yep.
So he takes it in with his aerosol. I was okay with that, because we had to cut fender liners, the inner fender liners when I
Right.
did. So all right, I'm used to plastic being cut on my Jeep, but it's still kind of weird watching someone cut your dash
Well, it's
in
forever.
In
in
half.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's forever.
You
And
can't
made it-
move a
you
section
can't
of
tape
it.
that back
No.
together.
No.
But no, it was great. Did that, and then you're right. The center support has
Yep.
to come out and cut that out and
It's about a section of.
put it up. And
Yep.
man, it looks absolutely stunning.
So
when
I
you
like
get
how it
clipped
really
in.
sits around like the factory vents and
Right, yep.
everything. Like they really took that into
Yeah.
account and everything, and it sits really cleanly. And
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do the I-209. I am going to
I have
at
the
some
207.
point. Yeah, that's a smaller one.
Mhm.
Because that one when I try to cheap out and put that JVC in,
Yeah,
it's now draining power, like
Consistently.
immense amounts of parasitic
Is it
draw.
really?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
killing the battery.
oh my god.
If I don't run that Jeep or charge it every 2 days, it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I'm gonna go through some pros and cons of it,
Mhm.
and I'm with you, man. It looks really like it was
It was designed.
it was
well.
designed to be there.
Mhm.
It's like it came from the factory that way.
Yeah.
So so kudos to their
Yeah.
designers.
My
for doing
I
that.
think my next investment's going to be the 8-inch subwoofer under the seat.
Yeah.
And I'm not totally sold on the idea of it, and not because the subwoofer, they sound awesome. It's that the mids and the tweets sound that good.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on the idea that I need that yet, you know?
Right.
They do sound awesome.
All right. So pros. The screen is huge. And I know you were giving me a hard time earlier. My
Sure,
eyesight is awful. And so I mounted an iPad on my dash
Yeah.
so that I could have directions and music, and I could actually see that. Now I don't need it.
The
So
only
can you
reason I
mirror-
bust your chops on it is because I sit passenger and I always bump my head off of it, my arm, I
Your
hit
knee,
it,
right.
my knee.
So will the I-209 mirror your phone?
It does not.
but it has CarPlay.
There is an
But
adapter
CarPlay-
to use HDMI,
Right.
and it will, but you have to be parked and with the emergency brake on.
Oh, shit.
So when I go off-roading and pull up Maprica or
Right.
the X one, whatever that is,
Right.
off-road trails, I'm still going to mount my iPad in that
Okay.
position.
I wish there was something out there like I wish that would be a CarPlay app like
Yeah.
Matt Rika and
Yep. I couldn't agree more.
I wonder if we could hack that.
You can.
So on to CarPlay. CarPlay is
But you gotta run an Android
super
operating
super
system.
nice, and I'm sure that the Android Play version is equally as good. I don't use Android devices.
I haven't anybody. Nobody's been able to. Scott has an Android.
Oh yeah.
and he's used the Android system in the Alpine.
Right.
And
He
said it works,
has that.
It works
yeah, right.
really well,
Right.
but it's
Right.
same thing.
Same
Certain
concept.
apps are not available.
Man, it's so nice, and even with like text messages, having it read to you,
It reads it, yeah.
brilliant. It's so, it's safe,
Yeah.
if you will. It's pretty safe. Plenty of connectivity. There's plenty of ways to connect to it. You can have up to 3 cameras.
Yeah.
So
Now, will it stitch them?
I need to.
So, I mean, can you pull them all up like a split screen on
Yeah,
there?
it's a real good question. I don't have a camera, so I can't talk to that. But
So
Colin
you have-
is on tonight, so
You have
if,
3 capability. I only have 1, I
Right.
think.
right.
Same with mine.
So I love that connectivity. There are things you can do with HDMI in it and everything. Very cool. It is tuned for the Wrangler, for timing and everything.
So you don't have to touch any of that.
You don't have to touch any of that.
Those
Right.
numbers are preset in every
Yeah.
Alpine system.
Now, can you mess with it if you
You
wanted
can.
Yeah. You don't need
and
to.
you can actually create different presets if you choose to
Right.
to do that. You
Right.
can create different presets and going on. It was funny because when Colin set it up, he actually just used flat to do the first play, and it. I was like, all right, it sounds okay, sounds good.
And then he puts it in a
And then he
preset.
hit the preset that was designed for it, and instantly the
to.
sound.
Heard a difference.
Oh,
And it makes such a big difference in a Wrangler because the speaker placement is not
So-
shitting on Wrangler or complaining, but it's a horrible speaker placement.
I have one even better
Yeah.
for you. Listen to it. iPod versus CarPlay.
oh yeah, I've done that.
That's
yeah,
wild.
yeah, that is.
Does that make
Where
a big
It
difference?
compresses the audio
Right.
and then like reconverts it in the system and then delivers a more like direct
Yeah.
like signal to the
Yeah.
speakers, and it's cleaner. So you'd be
Right.
amazed to hear it.
Huh.
Like I'll let you listen to it on mine, and you can see the
Yeah,
difference. And
it's- and
So-
it-
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Colin said there's you can do 4 different views
Yeah.
on multi-camera.
Yeah, I've heard people using like a camera underneath the rig
Well,
for when you're
so
off-roading. and-
Randy did that. Remember
yeah.
Randy?
Oh yeah, right.
Now I think he used it. He didn't use an Alpine.
he
I
used an
think he had-
RV system.
Yeah, but
Right.
it was slick. He put them on the knuckles so you
Mhm.
could see
Yeah.
for rock placement.
So I guess I got to invest in some cameras.
Get some serious tech in that thing, man.
Yeah, man. All right, so it's tuned for the Wrangler. Sounds amazing. And then just the sound itself. I gave you my Pioneer deck.
Yep.
And it sounded it
was
improved it improved the sound of
Yeah.
my system 1,000 times.
Yep.
This improved it
1001.
more.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy how good that thing sounds
Yeah.
now. I still want a little punchier bass, and I think that's going to come when I install other things, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. It is full plug and play. There wasn't one cord that had to be
It's my favorite.
spliced.
It's my favorite part about Alpine stuff.
It literally was you plug in a end that looks like the other end, and you
Right.
plug it in. And brilliant. There were thousands of those plugs.
Yeah.
Literally thousands
Yeah.
of them. But it plugged and played. It was unbelievable. Jeep information, like
Yes,
my TPS,
that's
TPMS,
cool. Yep.
which door is
So
open.
I've messed with when I
gauges.
work on Scott's, I
Yeah.
always will play around with the one on Scott, and that is cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's worth the price of admission
That,
right
you know
there.
what? And maybe that would be the deal that I would, because there's certain things like the JK gauge cluster is very bland.
Yep.
Like you get 4
Yeah.
gauges. I can't operate a vehicle on 4 gauges properly when it's doing 140 down the road.
Right. Colin, I appreciate that effort. If you have questions, Colin says he's free, so reach out to him. But don't fear the beard. His profile picture is one guy. He's really another guy with like 10 inches more beard. when we got together, there was a foot and a half of
Didn't
beard.
he? Yeah, he started growing that right before COVID.
Yeah.
I think he told us, right?
Yeah. And dude, when he says that, who else in the planet says that? He's the nicest guy on the planet, and he really is.
Oh, absolutely.
A super
Yeah,
nice guy.
Yep. Him and so the other guy's Roy, right?
yeah.
Roy's really nice too.
Yeah, Roy.
And super knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And that's what I dig about like specialists. You know what I mean? When you try and do everything, and that's fall of mine. Like I'll get into audio, and I'll get into rears and Jeeps, and I'll get into transfer cases.
Yep.
You kind of do stuff well, but you don't do it great, or your knowledge is good, but it's not great. Guys like Colin.
Yeah.
I mean, his audio knowledge is endless.
Yeah, it's really.
Yep.
So it is. They are a partner of ours of sorts. We have a great relationship with Alpine. I think both of us have our Alpine hats on right now.
My favorite hat.
It is our favorite hat, period. I need another one. This one's starting a little dirty.
And I have a hat on where you can buy your Alpine equipment.
That's right. The Quadratechs.
Although I'll tell you what, there's a Quadratech hat that I like too.
But they gave you the speaker system.
Yes.
And I want to get to that in a minute.
Yep.
But they didn't give me my system.
Right.
So I want to put that out there. They are a partner of us. So the words I'm saying are truly my words and not because of their partnership. Now, let's talk about some cons of the system.
Yeah. There are none.
It's big.
No, there are a couple cons. And the it's big plays into it because it's really tight getting to the wiper lever. Now,
okay.
I've hit my knuckles a couple times
get
going
some
to the
big
wiper.
hands, too.
I do have some big hands.
Yep.
Well, it sits out a little bit.
It sits out a little bit, yeah.
And also it sits higher a little bit.
Yeah.
So it maybe about an inch of
Yeah.
visibility.
Yeah.
So that's a con a little bit. You said it's tight getting to the steering wheel controls.
It is for the steering wheel controls are fine. It's the wiper lever that you have to work at. Now this is the dumbest thing on the planet, but it's a con for me. I mean, it's a huge con.
Okay.
The LEDs on the trim of the bezel is blue. You cannot change that.
So I was guessing it in my head. That wasn't it, but it was close. I'm like, he's going to say the bezel isn't quite the same color as like.
It's not the perfect color.
Right.
It's not red.
It's not red.
It's not red.
The LED is not red.
Basically, that's what you're saying.
It's not red.
Red.
That's 100%.
We could do red in there.
I'm sure there is, but out of the box, there is no way to program that. I have searched online to come up with some kind of hack for that.
I bet the X has programmable colors.
Hey, that's the difference.
No, the X has some off-road stuff built into it,
and it's waterproof.
No, this is waterproof too.
Oh, this one is too.
So I think it has same IP
rating. Is it submersible down to like 30 meters?
Yeah,
so it's good. You can listen to your music as
underwater.
a submarine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
and their excuse that I read online is it's set to match the dash coloring as it is.
Okay.
Bullshit. I want it red because my Jeep is red.
Well, dude, that just isn't gonna work. Pull that out and give it to me. I'll give you your
I know,
Pioneer
right?
back. That was red. You can have it.
I could change the color on that.
Yeah, right.
And I it could be a little faster. The response time on it when you touch it, it could be just a little bit faster.
You just plugged it in. It'll
I
get
know.
faster.
It'll get
It
faster.
gets faster with age.
That's right. Just like me. I've gotten much faster with age.
I didn't notice that. I think mine's pretty damn fast.
No, I think it could be a little zippier.
I mean, I'm saying that I didn't think that it needed to be faster than what it is. At least on my system. I mean, I never
Well, so I'm used to touching an iPad to change music and everything, and it's instantaneous. So I mean, it for me, I think it could be a little faster. That's a con. That's what I'm saying right now. I know I'm being nitpicky. Those are the only cons that I have. Literally, I have to be super nitpicky.
You're talking a computer versus a radio that's in your Jeep.
It's a computer. It's a computer.
Does it connect to the internet?
Yeah, duh. Yeah. What do you think the I stands for? We talked about that already.
You know, when you bought an iMac, it was an iPhone.
Internet.
Right?
Yeah, right.
That's exactly what it says. But so I also purchased the PSS 22 WRA.
Yeah.
The speaker
Yep.
system, full speaker
Yep,
system.
yep,
But
yep.
it includes the same speaker set that you have.
Yes.
The SPV 65X WRA.
Yes.
That's all right. That's another con. Their freaking names. Come up with a full name that you don't have to use.
Yeah, when I did that
Letters and
video, I had to
numbers.
rehearse that like
Yeah.
5. I kept getting it wrong.
Yeah.
Will was shooting video for me. He's like, I don't have all day, Don.
Well, SPV is
It stands for super powerful volume.
right.
That's right. And
then
65 is 6.5 inch.
6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Wrangler,
Right.
WRA.
I get that. But there's a lot of letters and numbers. It could be better. Come on. But
Bitchin' speakers.
you installed that,
Yes.
and it literally changed the sound of
Oh my God.
of your Jeep.
Yeah. Yep. So I put a head unit in it before
Yep.
that, and that improved it a little bit. And the head unit isn't the best of quality, but it was better than what was in there. And I put those speakers in, and it is one of my favorite things I put in that Jeep. Like, it just sounds awesome.
Yeah. So I had kicker speakers in the sound bar, and I had stock in the front dash and stock tweeters everywhere. So I've always said I don't like my mids and highs. My bass is great from my system before. I put those in today.
Yeah.
A 14-year-old daughter did the sound bar,
Yep.
and while I did the front,
Right.
and
Super easy, right?
super easy.
Yeah.
There was one question that I had to you,
Yes.
because you have an 18
Right.
and I have a 17.
Right.
The placement of the tweeter is literally just enough room for the tweeter.
And you felt all the way around?
All the way around. There wasn't anywhere to put the crossover.
Because there was no place for mine except for this one little coopy hole where I was able to
For
just
what?
stick it in there. For the
crossover.
crossover. For the tweeter.
Yeah, for the crossover of the
It's got a
tweeter.
little box that
Right.
so that you got to stick that up in the sound bar.
Yeah.
Above?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no issues with that.
Yeah,
Mine's up there perfectly. It was up and around the side.
Yeah, that's
no,
how mine was. too.
There was not.
You don't have an up and
On
around
either,
the side?
there wasn't an up around the side. Anywhere.
So yours isn't connected across?
No.
That's
No, it was
weird.
like a cup that there was enough room for the
Tweeter,
connectors and the
that's it.
tweeter,
Yeah.
and that was it. And so we just ran the
And I think I
crossover.
said just throw it on top, and you'd
Yeah.
already done it at that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like a mid or a woofer where it's going to get bounced around.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It'll survive up there.
Yeah, so I mean it was great, and the front is fine because it's deep
Yeah.
enough. You
Right.
you can throw it
Right.
up there. But it was great. That increased the sound and clarity.
The clarity
That's
blows
the
my
word
mind.
is the clarity.
Yeah, I like that. I mean,
Right.
that blows my mind with those speakers.
Yeah. I haven't hooked up the amps for the front or for.
Now, did you get
new-
the amp for the? Did you get the one on the back of the head unit?
No,
Oh, there's I-209 doesn't have. Does
No,
the
it's got-
I-209 have that?
it has its own built-in amp.
Right.
But the system that I got has 2 amps, has a 4-channel amp for the fronts
Right.
and a single channel for the
You
sub.
need all the wiring to run that stuff, to do a pre-out and all that.
Yeah, no, you just plug. I have all the wiring in the box, ready to go. It's all plug and play.
If you do the pre-out, and it's even better. Because that's what I had to do with mine.
Okay.
Remember mine? I did all the plug-and-play stuff.
Yeah.
And it works good.
Yep.
But if you do all the pre-outs with hooking up the amp and all the channels,
Yep.
well, unless yours is different, that's the thing. Because when I use the stock plugs in the back and you do the loops and all the different stuff to run to the amp and back,
Yep.
if you run the pre-out to the amp
Yeah.
with the red-white wires,
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what
They're RCAs.
RCA wires.
Yep.
If you run those, it increases your clarity and sound, and oh my god, so much better.
Colin says it comes with the pre-out, so
Right. It has the pre-out things, but you got to get the extension cords, the RCA cords to the extensions. At least when I got, unless your pre-out's different. My pre-out length was only about this long.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
My amps they're together in a pack. There's a frame that they're bolted together.
Right. The
With-
sub
we're-
and the amp.
and
It's the
we're-
same as mine under the
Yeah.
seat.
Yeah, I don't know where it goes.
I was just going to ask you, where does it?
I haven't gone that far. I think it actually goes underneath the steering wheel. But I don't know. Colin, answer that. Where do those amps go for?
You got the same system I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's under the seat.
Is it
with
under the
sub.
seat? All right. Well.
It's all one. It's all under the seat. Yeah, you're good. That's why I had to redo my system.
Yeah. So Colin says it's good to go. Comes with the adapters. No worries.
Right.
Right. So he'll let us know what that is, but I can't believe the sound that I have right now. So thanks Alpine for coming.
Driver's side of the dash.
Yep. Amps tuck under the driver's side of the dash. That's where I thought. Yep. I think there's a plate underneath the steering wheel that you remove, and there's room back there for them.
Right.
So we'll see after I get them installed. We'll see where we go with that.
Mine's mounted under the seat.
Perfect. But I do have those amps and the sub to install, and I'll let you know when those are done. I know that Alpine is coming up with new stuff. When, I don't know. What, I don't know. But I know that they're going to let us know when that happens. But if it's anything like this, rush out and get it right away.
Yeah. I can't.
They just came out with their side-by-side and Jeep buggy system, standalone system.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
The most recent
the external stuff.
Yeah.
We saw that. Yep.
Yeah.
So I like that. So Colin, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you letting me come down and hang out with you and work with you. Literally let you do everything.
I still like to hear run this wire, pull it back out, and run it again.
Dude, I literally, I'm used to being the bitch and just, hey, you go do this, get out of my hair, kind of thing. So, Colin, we appreciate that.
Kind of what I dig about our Jeeps. Like it's all been help from friends. We always talk about that, either parts or people actually wrenching on them and.
Yep. Well, and there's a social aspect to it. It's that Jeep life for a reason.
Yeah.
Just drink a beer, hang out.
Yeah.
Turn a wrench here and there. I love it. Woo, that was a much longer time than I expected it to be, but.
Maybe we should skip the main topic.
No, the main topic's good. I think we're good.
What time is it? Oh, we got time.
I think we got some events coming up, and this would be normally when Billy would go through a really long list of events, but we only have 2 of them. So
Myrtle Beach Jeep Jam is October 29th and to the 31st, and that's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And then after that, we have Wheel to Heel by Apex Off-Road in partnership with Mission 22, AOAA. I think the Jeep Enthusiasts of Eastern PA is helping out as well, trying to get some more people up there. So there's going to be a lot of rigs up at AOAA on November 13th, and that's being headed up by Mike Berger, and he was on last week to describe a little bit about, right? That was last week he was on?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So go back 2 episodes and you can hear all about Mission 22 and Apex Off-Road and their great event that they're going to be having up there to support veteran suicide awareness and helping them re-immerse themselves back into the community. So it's a great event. Check out the show notes to get a link to the event in their Eventbrite.
Yeah, it is a great event. We were accidentally there last year and took part in. It was a really good event for a great organization. So
absolutely.
So do it. This topic came up. We've kind of breached it before in the past, but this is real. I think this is great information for folks. Somebody asked me, what skid plates do I need and what's important? And do I already have some? And so that kind of led us to...
And do I already have some is a very interesting question that needs to be defined in what they are.
Because what Jeep calls a skid plate...
Well, it's not a skid...
Sometimes isn't necessarily what we would define as a skid plate.
I would say it's a protection plate.
I don't know. I mean, it's a lower quality skid plate. I don't run a lot of skid plates because I like a light rig, right? But I do, like my thing is I'll just keep changing out the gas tank one right now. I have plans down the road. Talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah.
The rear evap one's a joke. I think the best thing really is to move that rear evap back over the axle
placement.
It is, but I mean, also it doesn't cover the sides. Like if a rock comes up, and
it's a piece of sheet metal.
It really is. But again, the best thing to do is move that back over the gas tank. You don't need a skid plate or over the axle. You don't need a skid plate on it. Just move it back over the axle.
Now, if you're not lifted, can you still move it over the axle? Is there enough room?
I think there is.
Lifted?
Yeah,
right.
I believe there is.
I'm not sure.
No, I think there is because we had plenty of room when we did yours, Terry.
Yeah,
there was a ton of room.
There was plenty of room, but that's kind of why I asked that question.
No, I think you're good.
And at that point, I was sagging pretty hard on mine, so it was almost stock again anyway.
So the other, the other thing, the other one that I always told people you really don't need was an engine skid. I've been wheeling for knock on wood, I tell people all the time, I've been wheeling for 18 years and I've seen one guy poke a hole in one and that's it. It's a fluke.
And then
of course,
Trail 12 comes along.
Trail 12 comes along and there's just 3 rocks that no matter what angle I go over it, I'm going to get that oil pan. So
what Alex did in his TJ.
Well, that was
the first time.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That was Alex Trail 12. I was thinking of Trail 103. I think it was.
Yeah, that just started off the chain events of Alex's oil pan and then yours.
Yeah.
Somebody else's.
Yeah, it was like, are you kidding me? So now I'm waiting.
So you need an engine skid plate. That's basically.
I've changed my opinion. Get an engine skid plate. And if you have an automatic trans, make sure that's covered too. I don't, so I'm not worried about it.
And transfer case.
Transfer case, that one that's on there,
I mean, the one that's on there I think is fine and sufficient from Mopar. I'm just saying you need something to cover it.
Oh, definitely.
Because I've seen cases snap.
Yeah.
Because they end up on a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you poke a hole in the case.
Skid plates, I've got some, but I think I'm going deeper at some point.
So, real question, let's define what a skid plate is, because there's different types of skid plates out there. There's like brush guard skid plates, and then there's like buggy skid plates, and then there's aluminum skid plates. Yep. So I like to categorize what they are. So like what Mopar puts on, I would consider more of like a brush guard.
Mm-hmm.
So basically that's just going to make sure that when you're off doing light wheeling or you're driving down the road and you hit a tire or
I drag mine over rocks and it's okay.
I've dragged mine over rocks as well, and
your
I've
sucks,
lost
man.
a lot of fuel capacity. Mine looks like a wavy chip that you pull it out of the bag and it's half
mine's
eaten.
not near as bad as yours.
Right.
But also you can drag it from here to, California and back on the same skid plate, you're going to be fine.
Right.
And then there's aluminum skid plates, which is the new beautiful thing that they're coming out with.
Yeah.
That I would consider it's lightweight. It's more of like an overlanding setup. You're going to get a lot of protection, but you only get that protection like 3 or 4 times.
Because aluminum does get more brittle than steel.
It bends a lot more. It provides a lot of initial protection.
Well, it also depends on the quality, because that's one of the things that, so I want to go a belly up skid.
Dr. Don.
Yeah. I want to go a belly up skid. I saw my first one in person this summer. I've seen them, but I really haven't gotten to watch somebody with one on a trail. And this was a Gen Right, and it was so cool the amount of clearance that it created on that Jeep. So you don't think about it, but that tank is down a good 3 inches. That's like adding 3 inches of lift all the time. When I get hung up, it's on the skid. It's on the gas tank skid. Yep. Get rid of that. It's like adding 3 inches onto your breakover angle.
True.
Plus, they make tanks so you relocate your tank to the back. And depending on what kit you get, you can almost double your fuel capacity without hanging down below where the factory hitch would be. I don't think I'm going to go that far.
Take the muffler. It's a muffler delete
You'd have to take the muffler off. Right.
That also requires you to put double the amount of gas in your Jeep.
Right. Which is not good right now. Right. But I think, for me, I would take 15 gallons back there, and for the clearance.
That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not building it for overlanding. So, but I think that that is the deal for me. I don't want a whole series of skid plates underneath there, like some of the interlocking systems like Evo, or I'm just not into that idea. It's I'd rather have that one sheet
nice
of aluminum.
Systems.
They're awesome.
They're beautiful systems.
Yeah. But it's not for me. I don't have a transmission. I've got a manual transmission. They're pretty hardy, the cases. They don't really, for whatever reason, take hits too often.
You also have a cross brace in the middle of it.
Yeah, you do. Right.
Protects it a decent amount.
Right.
Based on just the setup.
That I've shredded two of.
Yeah, you have. So that brings me to my next thing. Deciding what skid plate you need depends on how you wheel. I don't set things down. Like if I'm on rocks and I know I'm going to have clearance issues, I set it down on stuff so lightly. You know what I mean? And if it sounds really bad, I'll get out of it and reposition and go at it again.
Yeah.
Billy, on the other hand...
They call me Billy Basher for a reason.
Right. Billy sets stuff down at Mach 9 and the pedals to the floor. There's small children flying out from under his tires and,
They're called
all
rocks.
the birds, as he's heading down trails, birds flock off the mountain.
Yeah.
So if let's say that I'm looking at adding some armor to my Jeep. I wheel once a quarter, and I don't do blacks.
Right.
I do some blues. Some
I would
greens.
just use what factory is there. I really would.
And until you damage it enough,
You got to replace it. Yeah,
to replace it
once a quarter. I mean, so I've had my Jeep out a bunch this summer, and I don't think it's near where it needs to be replaced.
Okay.
So
Terry, you also have to realize you were sagging really hard.
you were.
Yeah. Well, I
Your
had
new
some
setup-
clearance issues.
Your
yeah.
new
yeah.
setup is not. I don't think you're going to have half the clearance issues you were going to
No.
have.
To boot, I mean, there for a while we were wheeling you were wheeling far more than any of us, but you were out every weekend and sometimes during the week.
Yeah, there were. Definitely this year I've done a lot.
Yeah, I mean the trail miles you put on that thing.
But yeah, that's also increased time, increased amount of use. You're going to see the harder trails that you started doing.
Yep.
The terrain, you were seeing more things sticking up. So in your case, and I know where you're going with this, and I will complete your thought, you're looking at aluminum skid plates.
Yeah, I think that's my next step.
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
Right?
I think aluminum skid plates offer a tremendous more amount of protection, but also you're reducing the amount of weight.
I think better
skid plate,
better coverage.
right? An aluminum gas tank skid plate weighs in a range around, I would say, 60 to 80 pounds. A metal gas tank skid plate, same thickness, same size, everything, is going to be 250 pounds. Huge difference.
Right.
The amount of protection you're going to gain is significant.
So, and there's two types of aluminum that you commonly see: a 60-61 and a 70-75. So 70-75 is the better aluminum, and that stuff is probably just as good as steel underneath. I mean, it's
I would say so.
70-75.
Yep.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a heavy duty aluminum for sure. I already have a steel gas skid plate. I think mine's a rock hard.
Rubicon Express.
Was it Rubicon Express? So rock hard was the evap canister relocation.
Is that what we used?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you because I got to get one.
Yeah. So use Rubicon Express.
Right.
I think I'm good with
that.
that.
I'm not going to do the skid because I'm holding out for a belly up skid, and I kind of am going after this ultra 40, not 4400, but 4600 class kind of thing. So I think I'm going to do that.
So do you need diff skids or?
I tell people all the time, I'm not big on diff covers, but I kind of like the AEV diff skids.
Okay.
I like them.
Diff skid. What do you mean diff skid?
They make a
Skids or
skid
diff
like
covers.
No, skids.
You mean like the underneath skids
Yes.
that
Yeah.
you bolt in?
Yes.
I see. So I like the rear ones. I feel like the rear ones are a lot more effective than the front.
Oh yeah, the
ones.
front have no point.
Right.
Just the rear. In fact,
yeah.
I don't
So
even
the
know
rear
AV
ones
makes
adds,
front ones.
it adds like a ramp.
Right.
That goes from your
Yeah.
pinion all the
Yeah.
way down and
Yep.
underneath, and it I think it saves your diff cover from being like
Peeled
back.
Well,
every so
what I
slightly.
do on my diff covers is I shave the bottom of them so they don't hang down and they don't
Right,
get caught
so
on
you-
stuff. I don't run aftermarket diff covers only because I worry about oil flow. Like I did this whole again. I went on a research bender,
I agree with that.
and there's oil flow issues with a lot of covers.
Yeah. Well, Canada comes down and he says engine, transfer case, gas tank skids. Then he adds yoke protection, and I'm going to ask a question mark. Do we need some yoke protection?
Oh well.
Protect your yoke, yo.
Yo.
Well, it depends on what kind of wheeling you're doing.
All right. Elaborate.
Because
I think at that point, if you're on that
getting into
yoke,
big rocks and stuff that stick out and stick up, and you're doing a lot of ledges and this and that, you might want to put a yoke protector on like a 14 bolt,
Okay, yeah.
because you know you're going to put it into a situation where you might be dragging that drive shaft on a rock or something. You want to protect that yoke. You getting
I don't know how many times I've seen that though.
I have personally putting my rear yoke on a rock.
You
and
had your
stuff.
rear yoke on a rock? Really?
Something sticking
Say
out,
that
going up over it.
fast.
Yeah,
Mm.
rear yoke on a rock.
Rear yoke on a rock.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I think I would say if you know you're getting into that type of wheeling and that hardcore of stuff, yeah, you're going to put it on. You know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But the everyday average Joe Schmo, you don't need a pinion yoke protector or yoke protector.
So that's the
in
person that
general.
might be dabbling in like competition and
Oh yeah, you're putting it on a purpose-built rig.
Right. All right.
Yeah,
That helps me.
I wouldn't say a yoke protector. No.
No.
So anyway,
I would go along with that skid plate that goes around
Yeah.
the bottom
Yeah.
before I put a yoke
Yeah.
protector
Alright.
on.
That's fair.
I think you should just get. Let me get the part number here. It is the Genrite SKP 8500 belly up skid plate system. And
No, you
relocate.
shouldn't get that because then they're all going to be bought out and Don's not going to be able to
That's
buy
right.
one then.
Right. What one person buying it is going to buy it out?
It's close.
It might.
We're having an aluminum shortage.
We really
Right.
are.
Yeah. Oh, our good friend of the pod, Neil, is in Moab.
He is in
right
Moab
now.
right now.
Yes.
And he
was just driving around.
His photos of that is
Yeah. Well, we know his photos are
right. I
freaking
mean, that's what he
awesome.
does.
Yeah.
But I'm so jealous.
I know.
He's
Dude,
using
I think
his
he-
skid plates.
Dude, it's so awesome. He sent back a picture of himself from out there, and I swear to God, he's 12 years younger.
I know. Isn't that true?
I swear to God, he's like
Every picture he's got an ear to ear smile. Like he couldn't
know,
be
right?
happier.
I was so jealous of that, and so maybe next year the Jeep Life podcast will
I
take
was
a
just talking about him Saturday
a
night. I
trip
was at a
out.
friend's house and talking about like how envious I was of Neil. You know,
Dude, he's the nicest guy on the planet.
Dude,
too.
absolutely, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite people to wheel with too.
Yeah, I love wheeling with Neil.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Knowledgeable, really knowledgeable, very calm.
There's not an ego in
No,
sight.
It's one of the few people that I know that truly does it because he loves it, not because not because he's good at it or
Well, he is
because
good at it.
he is. But I'm saying there's some people that go out there to improve their game just to be better than everybody else.
Right,
I
right.
mean, he goes out just to have fun.
Have fun and maybe improve his own personal skills for
Th-
his
that's it for him,
right,
not for anything else.
right. But then he shares whatever he knows
Absolutely.
there's no
yeah.
pretext
I would-
behind it. I love it. So kudos to him.
Yep.
And I'm jealous and I hate you. But I think skid plates. If you have pictures of your skid plates and tag us in them on Instagram. But let us know if you have. We did reviews. We did emails. Send us emails. We'll
Yeah.
read them on the air. Maybe it'll spark a different topic in the future.
Yeah.
info@jeeplifepodcast.com. Where else can they find
Well,
us?
I want you to head over to the Linktree, linktr.ee/Jeep.
Linktree, LINK. Sorry.
The echo has been found.
What? Sorry.
No, I deserved it.
No,
I
it's
just
all
couldn't
good.
help one last time.
No, it's fine. So also just head over. Well, if you're listening at this point, you've already found us. So if you're looking to subscribe to us, head over to YouTube and hit that like and subscribe button. That really helps, and you'll be entered into our